Welcome to the Chaos Sector. We now focus on the second generation of Halloween, Jamie Lloyd. Danielle Harris played Myers' niece in the Curse of Thorn timeline from 1988 to 1995. As a young actress, only 10 years old when she made her debut in the franchise, Harris gained a ton of fans quickly. Her performance brought life to Michael Myers, believe it or not. Never before had we seen Myers in such a vulnerable state, even shedding tears. This storyline gave hope to Myers, even if for only a brief moment. Unlike one of our critics, most Halloween fans want to understand Myers, not just go along with a narrative of random evil. It's obvious a horror film will entertain the audience with that evil. Great kill scenes, suspenseful chases, and the element of surviving that evil provides the audience with endless thrills. Yes, but there is also a psychological and emotional aspect of a killer which needs to be established in a plot. And this is why the Curse of Thorn timeline, although many rejected this, was underrated. But we have to break down why Danielle Harris was never able to grow as a character in the franchise. Wouldn't it be quite cool to have seen Jamie Lloyd all grown up, with children of her own, still fighting off her Uncle Michael Myers? Of course, yet it was quickly erased in one film. That film was the 1995 release, Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers. Harris explains what truly happened, as she was not in the film. Let's view her interview regarding that film.
I moved to LA after Halloween 5, and I think I thought that it was going to happen pretty quickly. And when it didn't happen, maybe we'd asked a couple of times, and I was very close with the Akkads. So when I was living in New York, I would come and stay with them during the summers because his daughter Lana was my best friend growing up. So I would come and live in his house. I still can remember the smell of his library I just wrote to Malik the other day that I can still smell your dad's cherry tobacco in his pipe. Like, I will never forget the smell of that and his mom's, most of his wife's perfume. But, so I'd spent a lot of time at the house and with the family, and I think I just thought it was going to happen, and then it never really did, and I don't know if I just stopped asking about it at some point, and then kind of forgot about it.
Now, Harris states that she was very close to the Akkad family and was friends with Mustafa's daughter. What this indicates is Mustafa Akkad most definitely didn't approve of how Jamie Lloyd was treated.
I didn't think about it at all, about them doing a 6. I just thought, okay, maybe it's just not going to happen. And then I went on to did other things, and then lo and behold, many years later, my agent called me, and she said, in Breakdowns today, Breakdowns is like a news bulletin that goes out to all the agents that they're casting this movie and they're looking for this type of person, and then agents say, I've got this person. So they sent out this breakdown for Jamie, and they wanted someone over 18 to play, 17, and they had my picture, my headshot that they wanted to look alike. So my agent called me and said, they're casting Halloween 6 and they're trying to get someone over 18 to play your character. Obviously, when you're over 18, you can work longer hours, you could do other things, don't have to go to school. I was 17, though. So my agent called up Paul Freeman and Mustafa and said, Danielle wants to do this, and what can we do to make it happen? And they said, we need to hire someone over 18, so get her emancipated. So you basically have to go before a court, and you have to prove to the judge that you're an adult, and you're essentially like, I'm an adult now, and you say, I'm going to move out of the house from my mom, you're an adult. And then they could work you like an adult. So I did that, hired an attorney. It cost a couple $1,000s to make it, to do it, going back to the court 2 or 3 times to get approved, and done.
Danielle Harris emancipated herself to star in the next Halloween film. She was 17 years old and made the decision to become an adult for this franchise. Her mother, although may have had a few doubts, allowed Harris to do this. Perhaps because Harris was already a child star who had become quite famous by the time she was 17. In a video, Harris is with her mother, discussing moving out on her own. To get emancipated for a Halloween film when she could just star in other films as a teenager showed how much Harris loved acting in the franchise. Jamie Lloyd was a character Harris took seriously. She wanted to return for another film. Let's continue.
So I go, finish, sit down, have a meeting with everybody, and I remember everything starting to change. Like, the way that everybody was talking about the new script and things it just wasn't. I remember leaving thinking, oh, these people don't know Halloween. Like, this isn't, I don't get it. Wait, I'm confused. So I am pregnant with my uncle's baby? Like, I just didn't understand what had shifted. I thought, oh my God, this is not what I wanted to do. I don't want to die like this. And at that point I'm a teenager now, so I'm old enough to know sort of what's cool and what's not cool. We went back and forth quite a bit, and it just was like, it just wasn't working from the very beginning. And then business affairs, which is, people that are supposed to make the deal with actors. They don't have any connection to the project. That's just their job. And they called, and I just remember being on the phone and them being like, "We're going to offer you, whatever scale was, like $800 a week or $1,000 1 week work for the week." And I was like, "Oh my God, but I just have all of this. I just paid like $3,000 or $4,000 to be able to do the movie." And wait, what? And it just got really fucked up.
After Harris had gotten emancipated, it was now time for talks for the film. The script, though, was not what Harris expected for her character in Jamie Lloyd. And she was not the only one, as many fans were shocked at her death so early in the film. There is something very important that I want to address, as it plays a key role in why Jamie Lloyd was not only killed off so early, but apparently why her death was so brutal.
And I remember Paul getting on the phone with me and somebody else, maybe it was Dan Ferens, and them sort of saying, "Please, please, please, we're going to make this work, we're going to make this right," and just feeling like their hands were tied. And I tried to make it happen, and then we had one more phone call, and I'll never forget, the woman on the other line said to me, "Your character is a scale character. You die in the first act. We're not giving you any more money." And I went, "I guess I mean nothing to you then. Okay." I just wanted to put the money back in my bank that I spent to do the movie, which you guys are trying to replace me to begin with anyway. And I fought for it because I didn't want to have someone play Jamie. And, okay, so I'm done.
To tell Danielle Harris, her character is a, quote, scale character? For those who don't know what a scale character is, let's explain. Character scaling, or power scaling, is the method of determining a character's power, or impact, through comparing them to other characters in their series. In the storyline, who would Jamie Lloyd be compared to? Dr. Loomis? Tommy Doyle? Kara Strode? Danny Strode? The fucking bus station employee? To be honest, none of these characters have more power than Jamie Lloyd. She is the key to the franchise at this point of the storyline. If it's not any of these characters Jamie is being compared to, then who would it be? We know who, and she has always been the problem. Jamie Lloyd obviously is being compared to Laurie Strode. Now this is an unfair comparison, because Laurie Strode was the initial main character of the franchise, which clearly the original Halloween film had the most success. And also, they have different roles in the franchise, it's obviously apples and oranges, at the time of this comparison. Yet, Jamie Lloyd was the daughter of that so-called powerful character, right? Isn't this worth a level of dignity given to Danielle Harris? Fucking right, that was literally a slap in the face. I think you're starting to see what is going on here. Danielle Harris had been officially blackballed from the Halloween franchise. What the hell? Damn straight, this so-called character scaling clearly proves they did not want Danielle Harris to play a key role in the film. So of course, Jamie Lloyd was treated like a typical character Myers just obliterates, instead of a niece he shared a special moment with in the previous film. Now I'm getting pissed off, let's continue with the interview, before I snap.
And that was really what had happened. And I met JC Brandy, who played Jamie, years later through mutual friends, and she was just like, the shit that I got for replacing you, people fucking hated me. And I've gone on the record by saying, JC's my friend, I've taught her dance class, she's my friend. And I don't want anyone to be mean to her because she didn't, she didn't kick me to the curb and, stomp on me and replace me. But, Dan Ferens and I do talk about it every once in a while we have this fantasy of going back and redoing Halloween 6 the way we both thought that it should have been done. People automatically assume that I wanted some crazy amount of money. It's not like I'm demanding of anything. When you have been asked to do something and then they insult you by saying, you're a piece of shit, you die in the first act. I don't give a fuck that you were in 2 other Halloween movies. Who cares? And it was like, whoa, oh my God. I was just in such shock. And then you've got your team going, you know what, we're gonna pass, let them come back, and this is ridiculous, and they put you through the ringer, and it's been a big fucking runaround. And I walked away, and they never came back. But I feel like, in retrospect, looking back on it now, that if I would have been Jamie in Halloween 6 and I would have died, maybe I wouldn't have come back for the new Halloweens. Because there was a part of people that still wanted to have Jamie back. And I think that that maybe Rob Zombie felt the same way. And that's why I ended up coming back and, rebooting it.
There's more to it also, Danielle. If you would have returned for the 1995 film, you most definitely wouldn't have been killed. And, by default, there would have never been a Halloween H2O, Resurrection, and we can also add the current Halloween trilogy on that list. The storyline was there for you to flourish in. If Harris would have returned, she would have not been killed, and in the producer's cut, there wouldn't have been that perverted plot of her being impregnated by her uncle. I examined it in previous episodes, but I don't condone that storyline whatsoever. The entire script would have been changed, providing a great film for the fans. Jamie escapes the cult that kidnapped her by the help of one of the nurses. And the chase ensues. Tommy Doyle, Kara and Danny Strode could still play a significant role in the film. Dr. Loomis reunites with an older Jamie as she still has a telepathic connection to Myers. This would be used to help prevent being ambushed by him, which makes Wynn more aggressive in his actions as a result. They fight off Wynn and Myers. Tommy still drugs and beats Myers down, as Kara and her son, Jamie Lloyd, and Dr. Loomis all get into the Jeep and head out of town. Then, a 1998 film is produced, with Jamie now being an adult, at 18 years old. She is in college, with a son of her own. Guess who? Stephen Lloyd, but she has a boyfriend and they live in a small town outside of Illinois. One day, Jamie spots Wynn, but no telepathic sign of Myers. That's a sample size of what should have unfolded instead of the disrespect done to Danielle Harris. Do you see how easy it is to just do what's right? Respect the characters, respect the actress who provided years of Halloween films for the fans. Behind all of this, though, is an individual who just couldn't relinquish her spotlight. Yet, she was not alone in this strategic conspiracy. There were others. And you may be surprised who these individuals were. We will finish it up on why Danielle Harris was blackballed from Halloween. This is the Chaos Sector, Film Reviews.